In this video, we're going to be doing a little experiment. What got me into the kiln buying was this right here to start with. We've got, as you can see, buckets. I probably got about 10 buckets full of 1700s wine bottle glass. And Buddy and I dug out these pits and had hundreds and hundreds of these bottles like here, and pieces of bottles. And we said we hated to waste it, so let's try to make something with the glass. So that was the original reason why I bought my bottle slumping kiln, was to try to melt this down and see what happens. Well, it didn't work. It didn't melt like normal glass back in the 1700s. I guess maybe they used a little different process to make this right here. I did recreate these using the top and bottom, which were pretty cool, but yeah, and I like that, but we wanted to try to melt them to make something with it. So the bottle slumping kiln did not work, but now we got another kiln. The old one, I think we tried like 1500 degrees. This new one goes up to 2200 degrees. So what we're gonna do in this video is we're actually going to take some of this glass and see if it will melt in our new kiln. You ready? Let's do it. Here we go. All right, for our first test, we are going to put just 2 pieces of glass in here. This is a little mold here. I tried to kind of glaze it with some flux here, but I'm not sure if that's going to work or not. A borax, you know, you're supposed to kind of flay it. But anyway, we'll see. Hopefully it won't stick to it. But anyway, we're going to stick 2 in here like this and just see if it fuses. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to flip it upside down so we'll know it's at a kind of like a curve. We'll know if it actually slumps down like this, because it will be flat, or if it actually joins together. That's what we want to do. What we'll eventually do is break this into little pieces, which we did before, and I threw it away because I said, well, it's not going to work. But that's before I got this kiln right here, the tabletop, 2200 degrees. So what we'll do now is we'll put this in here, and it's probably still hot from where I was doing that. Yeah, she's still too hot. I'll get my gloves on here. But we'll put this in the kiln and run up to 2200 degrees and then see what it does. Let me get my glove over here. I just got me, one of y'all recommended getting some new gloves, and I did, because the old ones were using out there on my other kiln has got to the point it wasn't much good. Okay, so we're going to stick it in here like this. We'll close it up. Get this right here. We got to get plugged in, and we're going to crank it up here. Let's see what we got here. 2300 degrees. Oh my God, that's hot. All right, it's on. Give it about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, and we should be able to see some results. If it is going to be some, what we'll do next, though, we'll take one of these bigger pieces of glass like this and see if it'll slump down. What we eventually want to do is break it all up in pieces and make, yeah, some jewelry out of it, but gotta see if it even will slump down first. All right, here we go. All right, we are up to 2100 degrees and still climbing, and I open it up, and it is melting. The first time I've ever seen it do it. Let's check it out. All right, y'all ready? This is red hot. I got to be careful here. Ooh, it's even hot back here, but I don't know if you can see inside that tray, but it has melted together. We're going to go ahead and shut this thing down and let it cool down and check it out. I'm excited about this. We're going to be able to make some stuff. Stay tuned. All right, there it is, and it is melted together pretty good. Kind of gray looking though. It doesn't look like it's be very clear to make jewelry. It doesn't have to be clear, but I would like to see it get so you can see through like that green glass. But one problem I have here, I think I didn't put enough release agent in there, because it doesn't look like it's going to come out of this thing, and I may ruin this little crucible here to melt in potentially. I might have to break it to get it out. So we got to work on that problem, but other than that, it looks like it's coming together where we could possibly make some 1700s jewelry. Pretty cool. All right, for our next experiment with this glass, this old 1700s glass. As you can see, you can kind of see through it right there. It's got kind of a greenish tint to it. You see my fingers still into it right there if you look at it close there. Anyway, that's what we like for end up with, but it hasn't been doing that. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to crush this into little pieces and get it down really small and put it in one of these and see if it'll melt in this at a couple thousand degrees, and see if I actually form a little nugget, melt together enough to form a nugget. That will let me know I'll be able to make some kind of jewelry out of it in the future. Just a little test. So we're going to crush this down to little tiny pieces, put it in here, and see what it does. Let's do it. Here we go. All right, we got this stuff crushed down to pretty good small pieces of glass now. Not total powder, but it's enough that we're going to see how it's going to melt together. All right, what I'll do now is I'll put this together. And I might go ahead and go with the bigger one here because I think we got enough to do that. I'm pouring that right now. I'll show it to you after I get it in there. All right, that's looking pretty good. We're going to go put this in our kiln. Heat that thing up to about 2100 degrees and see if it fuses together into a little block, and that will let me know what's going on. I'd love to be able to see through it when we're done, but I don't think that's going to happen, but let's give it a try. Here we go. All right, it's time. We're going to crank it up 2200 degrees and try to hope I don't ruin this mold. The other mold was ruined. I'll show you that in the end here, but you got to go through some testing before you know what's going to work. Here we go. All right, it got up to over 2100 degrees. We're in the cool down mode now, but as you can see, look at that solid red glowing block. Ooh, that's hot there too, buddy. Woo, that'll go right through the thing. But I can see it has melted into the thing there, but it looked like a little bit of a crust on top, which I didn't want to see that, but it's going to take 30, 40 minutes to an hour to cool down now. So we'll let it cool down and check it out when it's cooled down. She's glowing red. Here we go. All right, we got it out of the kiln. It's probably still 800 degrees, but I just flipped it over just to kind of check it out. And there it is. It came right out of that. But it's not very pretty. That would not make a very good thing. Although it's got some cool little design to it, but that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, this thing is hot right here. Whew. All right, we got to go back to the drawing board and figure out how we can make this colonial glass pretty. All right, stay tuned. We're going to have to work on this some more. All right, we are on a continuous learning curve. Failures are always a learning experience, right? Well, like I said before, me and Buddy found hundreds and hundreds of those 1700s wine bottle pieces, a couple whole ones, but mostly pieces. We just didn't want to waste it. We said, what can we do with it? That's when we started the process of trying to melt this glass, melt it. And I never could get any to melt, and Buddy had problems too. He just couldn't do it. He actually bought a microwave kiln. You can actually put it in the microwave. The microwaves actually heat it and melt the glass. It actually gets up to 1,000 degrees from the microwave. And he was able to kind of get a little bit of success, but nothing like we want. I tried this crucible. It's actually a porcelain crucible. And I was afraid this was going to happen. I tried to coat it, but it stuck to the porcelain. If you look real close right there, you can see it where it did melt, though. It's the first time I've ever seen that 1700s glass melt. It's never melted before, and it did. You notice I put them in the curve, and it melted right together. It does, it's got a grayish coat to it. I'm not sure about that. But like I said, we took two pieces like this and put on top, and it melted together. Now, I did clean it off before I put them in there. And this stuff has some beautiful iridescence. The whole bottles have some beautiful iridescence on them too. But we're still trying to figure out what to do with them. But the other one where I broke it up, y'all saw me break it up. It did melt. It did actually looks pretty good, I think. It's a neat looking structure. That would make, if I had that like in the shape of a cross, you could have a nice piece of jewelry out of 1700s glass. I think that's pretty cool myself. But anyway, what do y'all think about that? You think it's worth keep getting up on this project or giving up? What do y'all think? I got to find something good to do with all it. This bucket's full of bottles. And it's really cool stuff. But I just don't know what yet. If y'all got ideas, let me know. But I'm still playing with it. I'm going to continue to play with it. Oh, one other thing. As you can see, the porcelain stuck to it really bad. And never use the glass in that again. But the graphite molds are definitely the key. It didn't stick at all. Popped right out. No problem at all. So graphite is really good for being released to it, you know. When I'm making some stuff out there, like I'll spray graphite into my molds out there, like when I'm making lead, you know, or the aluminum muffins, I'll spray graphite. It just flops right out. So graphite is a really good release agent for any type of the metals like that. These definitely have to be coated so they don't stick to that. So I don't know if I could spray that or not. I might have to try that maybe. Always test it. All right, anyway, y'all see what I'm working on this particular project. I got a lot of little projects going on, but I just want to keep y'all informed of what's going on in the Gigmaster routine here. So, anyway, appreciate everybody coming along. Don't forget to click like, comment below, share, subscribe to Gigmaster, and comment below if you got any other ideas of how to create some cool stuff with this glass. All right, appreciate everybody coming along.